Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Shark Tank for the second game of the first round of the Water Polo Australia AWL Series 2026. We're here with Nick Watkins and Lulu Gaither on commentary today. We do have to apologise in advance. A little bit rusty from last season, and we've left our microphones at a different venue. So we're speaking live into the phone with the kids' playground behind us. Hopefully the noise isn't too bad. And we're just about to get underway for team announcements. Lulu's going to run you through players for the Drummoyne Devils and the Cronulla Sharks.
All right, first for Drummoyne, we've got Coco Bachik in goal. Number 2, Jolie Marsden. Number 4, Stella Lofronovic-Cake. Number 5, Alex Brown. Number 6, Camila Sophia Valentin. Number 7, Lily Harris. Number 8, Lucinda Gillis. Number 9, Megan Linder. Number 10, Indigo Diderick. Number 12, Harley Krikak. Number 13, Alana Paul. Number 14, Zara Cook. Number 18, Jocelyn Seller. Number 21, Layla Jenkins. Yeah, and that's what we got for today for the Drummoyne Devils. And then moving on to our Cronulla Sharks, we've got number 1, Claire Durston. Number 2, Dora Laxa. Number 3, Nell Payne. Number 4, Danny Yakovich. Number 5, Ali Davis. Number 6, Sophie Hankin. Number 7, Tate Headley. Number 9, Ashley Ryder. Number 10, Emma Putt. Number 11, Jade Vinson. Number 12, Abby Simshauser. Number 13, Madison Berggren. And number 14, Grace Welch. All right, we're going to get this game underway. For the Sharks, in our starting lineup, we've got Claire Durston in goal, Danny Yakovich, Jade Vinson, Dora Laxa, Madison Berggren, Emma Putt, Abby Simshauser. And here we go with the sprint. Madison Bergeron with the sprint. Sharks ball. Getting some quick passes going around the perimeter. And a quick shot. And that's from number 10, Emma Putt. Just 23 seconds into the game. Sharks lead 1-0.
Yeah, pretty dangerous way to start off for Emma Putt after last night's win. Cronulla Sharks beating Drummoyne 20 goals to 11. This is the second time they'll face each other this weekend, and it looks like from yesterday's team, Drummoyne are down one of their biggest scorers, Telek, from yesterday, 2 goals, not playing today. As Daya Lasker holding front at centre back, but we've got a kick out called early. Too much holding on the wing there from Jade Vincent as Drummoyne scramble to set up their 4-2 attack.
Looking to score here, tie the game up. Working it around the perimeter. And that's a shot, but goes wide of the cage. That's number 7 for the Devils.
It looked like good movement to start with. They have to try and take advantage of that one person up with Claire Durston in goals in the Australian squad. But a rogue pass goes away and Devils with the ball, counter-attack, but Sharks are looking good in defence. Plenty of numbers.
Looking
Early
to enter
feed.
it. And that's a common foul. Ball passed up weak side to Meg Linder. And Madison Bergeron attacking from the side. And that's Sharks ball.
That'll be a nice little vindication for the Sharks there, with Meg playing for the Sharks the year before the Devils this season. And another haywire shot throw from Claire, not too happy with herself. Maybe trying to push the initiative a little too hard, not waiting for eye contact with the receivers.
She's typically really great with those passes, so I'm sure we won't see that much today. Devils looking to counterattack and a skip shot. Blocked by Claire Durston.
Yeah, that's too easy and probably an interesting decision now with Cronulla going 3-on-1 in counter-attack.
Ball passed up to Dani Jakovic. She looks to shoot. Pass over to Jade Vincent, but the defense was able to get there. Devils ball.
Maybe a little bit of head noise from the girls today after the win last night. It's not very often you see Dani pass the ball front water 2 metres out from the goals.
And no foul there. So Sharks ball. 5.5 minutes left to play in this first quarter.
Tell you what, Lulu, it's been a lot of swimming this first quarter. I'm sure some of the centre forwards wouldn't mind a goal.
Yeah, I'm sure they wouldn't. Looks like they're going to run a drop back on Dani Jakovic, who's a force back there in center. And she's going to get that recovery ball for a goal. And that puts the Sharks up 2-0.
And if you're just joining us for today, thanks for tuning in. Nick Watkins, Lulu Gaither here on the commentary. We are facing some slight technical difficulties with us leaving our microphones at home. So we're speaking directly into the phone today with the kids' playground right behind us.
Not ideal conditions here.
It's pretty windy too. If you're dialing in from anywhere outside of Sydney, we've had a pretty cracking storm this weekend. Good to see the blue sky coming out as the Devils feed the ball to centre forward. Nice pass back out to the wing, but not much doing on there. However, a strong turn on Amy Simshauser right there. And very, very lucky crash back from Emma Putt.
You know, they're lucky that wasn't called an ejection. And a timeout called by the Sharks.
Yeah, Dudi Kristic obviously not too pleased with some of the decision making early on.
Looks like the Sharks have a bit of a slower start than they did in yesterday's game. Maybe feeling a little tired since they played just last night. Drummoyne looking to have a comeback win after yesterday. Claire Durston's going to start with the ball here. Madison Berggren up on that right wing. Ball passed into center. She has inside water, and that's a 5-meter.
Yeah, lovely bit of awareness from Coach Judy Kristich there, noticing the girls maybe not playing their usual game, overthinking things a little. A few passes, both from goals and on field, not going where they wanted, so he calls the timeout. Beautiful set play straight to Dani Jakovic for the 5-meter. Ali Loomis lines up, strong left-hander, beautiful bounce, top right. That takes the score 3-0 to Cronulla. The Devils now calling a couple subs with Brown and Valentine coming on. There was a lot of swimming at the start of that quarter, so possibly a chance to get some fresh legs in. Bit of composure, an opportunity to break up Cronulla's defence, which has been pretty solid, all things considered. The ball's stuck out top now. Little foul to Meg Linda, former Shark. We're getting a perimeter exclusion there. Ali Loomis clearly holding on to the togs of Drummoyne Devils, Harris, as they take the ball deep wing. Lovely little post pop there. Valentine getting the ball, post 2, short side. Bit of a tough one to Claire pull in. This is scored a 3-1.
They ran that a couple times yesterday just to get that post open on the outside, and it seems to be working well for them on 6-on-5. Scores 3-1 for the Sharks. 4 minutes left to play in this first quarter.
Devils electing to play a zone here. Pretty obvious decision there with one of the world's best centre forwards in Dani Jakovic sitting centre forward.
Ashley Ryder is going to take that shot to the left of the goalie.
Yeah, it was pretty easily defended there by Harris blocking down the line, but Sharks covering relatively well until the ball makes it to centre forward.
And that's going to be an exclusion on number 13, Madison Berggren.
Yeah, getting caught behind there. Can't do much for that with the new interpretation of the rules.
Wow, what a skip shot. A shot in goal. And that's number 7 for the Devils, Lily Harris. As a coach, that's exactly what you want to see. A quick skip shot, near side corner.
And Harris will feel good about getting that after being excluded early on in this quarter. She slotted 2 goals yesterday against Cronulla, so there's obviously a bit of confidence and skill there, and that was a great shot straight past Dani Jakovic, which you wouldn't normally expect to see. 3-2 to Cronulla.
Sharks working it around the perimeter. They've got another drop going. And a shot. It's shot blocked, but still goes in the goal. That's Nell Payne, number 3 for the Sharks. And they're really taking advantage of this zone that the Devils are running, shooting from the outside. Here we go. 4-2 Cronulla. Devils with some good movement on offense.
Got Valentine playing centre forward, holding pretty well against Emma Putt.
And she gets her excluded.
Emma recently joining Cronulla Sharks from WA. It's lovely to have a part of the Shark family. Very, very talented young athlete.
The ball tip there by Madison Berggren. Shot clock running down. And that's going to be a turnover. Great defense by the Sharks. Able to cover up that post pop. And that's another exclusion, this time on the Devils. And that's number 14 for the Devils, Zara Cook.
Absolute coach killer that. Extra man not taking advantage of the play, then getting an offensive kick out. They'll be making sure that they address that at quarter time, no doubt. Cronulla moving the ball, offsetting to the right-hand side, bringing on the one nice little cross pass to Danny Jakovic, but feeds it straight into the bread basket. Drummoyne Devils goalie, Bacic, not having to move at all there to save that.
But a great read by Dara there. Not taking that shot and looking to an open post. And Claire Durston coming all the way out of the goal and takes the ball. That's one of the best goalies you'll see in Australia. Just finished training with the national team.
She was lucky there. Emma was holding pretty good front position for centre back, but the ball managed to sneak in. It was a decent pass.
And an offensive called on Emma Putt.
You can see both teams slowing up here a bit, Lulu. Obviously, it's been a big quarter, fair bit of swimming. The score doesn't really reflect how much back and forth there was at the start. And it's taking both teams a little while to get to the two, get their centre forwards set. Cronulla choosing to play a 3-back at the moment. Big arms, trusting Claire in goals. As you mentioned, just finished training.
That's got to be a hard shot to take. You got Denny Jakovic and Dora there, both over 6 feet. Got some long arms.
Final minute of play for the first quarter. Cronulla taking the ball in deep wing. Bit of movement here, 2 drives coming through, clearing out for Danny Jakovic, ball's out top, Maddie Berggren, big strong shot, crossbar down, and that is the lethargic counter-attack and counter-D from both teams. You can see coaches on both sides getting a little bit angsty. They'll be calling for their girls to slow down, think about passes and shot selection at quarter time. Drummoyne advanced at 30 seconds to go.
Both teams looking pretty tired. Sharks running a press, and the Devils are forced to dump it with 21 seconds left on the clock. They're going to look to try to get one more shot off before this first quarter ends. Denny Jakovic, loud in center, looking for the ball. 10 seconds to go.
Sense a bit of frustration from Danny there, thinking she was holding the top pretty well. Oh, Nell Payne slots it through with 2 seconds to go.
Wow. A nice last second shot by Nell Payne. Same shot she took earlier in the quarter. To the right of the goalie, just slips it in right there.
That'll teach me to speak too quickly. Obviously, the patience and composure from Cronulla team, moving the ball out top, waiting for the goalie to be out of position. Lovely shot, almost off the hand. As Harris has a half-metre shot, siren's already gone. We head to quarter time, 5-2 to Cronulla Sharks. Welcome back to the Shark Tank for the second quarter of the AWL Cronulla Sharks versus Drummoyne Devils. If you're just joining us, you've got Nick Watkins and Lulu Gaither here on the commentary team for you today. We do apologise, we left our mics at home and we've got a kids' water park running in the background, so hopefully the audio isn't too bad. And if it is, just chuck us on mute, put on your favourite podcast and watch the game in peace. Liam Ireland calling the Cronulla girls back. Referee Dan Bartels on the far side. Dan just returning from the under-20s World Champions where he got to referee the gold medal match. As it's a tight swirl off here and the luck of the bounce goes Cronulla's way. Ali Loomis passes it back. So it was a bit of a sloppy start from both teams at the first quarter. A lot of interesting passing decisions, a few shots that shouldn't have been taken and a few that weren't, that probably should have gone in. As they feed the ball to Dani Jakovic, 3 players on her, she still manages to turn, shoot. And that helpful 8th player, the crossbar, comes in handy for the Drummoyne team again.
Drummoyne starting this quarter much faster than the first quarter, looking to counterattack. Sharks look like they're running a drop.
Seems like they maybe did themselves a disservice. It was a fast counter-attack, but they didn't have a second release down to the 2 metres on the right-hand side of the pool, which meant centre forward was left a little bit isolated. We had to wait for that second break to come through. Claire Durston goes straight up the guts to Jade Vincent at the moment. Claire will be a lot happy with that. A few straight passes. A nice quick pass in there. Ali Loomis earning the exclusion. Ball back out to the top. Jade Vincent waiting for the team to balance around. Ball down to Ali Loomis. Quick shot straight down the line.
Wow, what a great shot.
Yeah, the reaction from the goalie says it all. That's not her responsibility. She'll be pretty disappointed with the defence there. Cronulla takes it to 6-2.
That's something about Ali Loomis is she's always given 100%. You watched her from all the way down on defense. She counterattacked into her defender all the way down. Got that exclusion and a quick shot from the corner.
And it's good having her back in the pool. Ali had to take her season off last year. She had a pinched nerve as a result of some rib interesting positioning, and they ended up taking one of her ribs out. So pretty major surgery and a lot of recovery, but she's back in the pool. She's scoring goals, so she'll be very happy to be back in wearing the blue and white as Drummoyne tries to force the ball in.
Can't quite get it there.
The intent was there. The goalie was out a little bit. We had fronted the centre back, number 10, Diderik for the Drummoyne Devils, but throwing into the stiff southerly breeze that we've got here made it a bit of a challenge. As a lovely pass down there to Daya Laksa. Cronulla's new import from Hungary, played college ball in the US.
And Emma Putt throwing the goalie off. Goalie actually jumped over to her left. And Emma Putt able to put that ball to the right.
Yeah, Emma Putt, another really welcome addition to the Cronulla lineup this year, making the way out from Western Australia, basing herself here in Cronulla. Definitely brings a lot of speed. Still very young, but experienced. And that takes Cronulla up 7-2, starting to stretch away a little bit. And coach Dusan Kristic will be much, much happier with the start of this quarter. Ball fed in. Nice little ball there into Marsden. Tries to throw the backhand, unfortunately sends it a little bit high.
Sends it high and sends Madison Berggren off on the counter attack. They're going to be up on a 4-on-5. And that's Abby Simshauser off the counter attack. A nice steal and pass from Madison Berggren. Pass over to Abby, and that brings us to a score of 8-2 for the Sharks.
Yeah, Maddie's second season here with Cronulla, and Abby coming back to join after playing in the US collegiate system. So it's nice to have a homegrown Shark being able to link in with one of our newer family members. Lulu joining me on the mics, come over from America as well, playing Super League for Cronulla, helping out in second grade. And we'll ask her about her experiences here at the moment. There's a lovely pass in to centre forward, front water held behind by Cronulla. It's either a shot and goal or 5 metre as Liam Ireland signals 5 metre on Daya Laksa, with Marsden stepping up to take the shot against Claire Durston.
Shot off the post by Marsden.
It was a lovely wind-up, good shot. Unfortunately,
She was just unable to get there.
top
and
cage
looks like she was.
copped a bit of a heel here as Ali Loomis slows it down a little bit, so Dayalaxka can cover back, playing 5-on-5 now in attack. Good ball to Sophie Hankins, she's unable to put it away, and lovely crash back defence there. Gillis doing all of the work, stealing the ball, and Drummoyne Devils on counter-attack.
Looks like Marsden might have gotten a hit to the face there, and now getting her revenge. Kicking out Madison Bergen, that's her second of the quarter.
Yeah, Madison getting caught out of position there, playing hands down defence. Drummoyne girls having front water. It's an obvious exclusion, and she's being subbed out here, as we just mentioned, a second exclusion before half-time. Maddie's one of the starters and a really reliable player for the Sharks, so don't want to lose her too early. As Drummoyne sends it, Claire Durston tips it over the top. We'll have a corner.
Sharks should be coming even here any second. And here comes Emma Putt, and she'll go off onto attack after a block by Claire Durston.
Unlucky shot there from Brown. She had the space, she moved in, picked it up, slipped, ended up in the emu position, holding the ball like a cobra, and unfortunately that's not enough to get the ball past Claire Durston in goals. As Dayalaxka takes the ball up, stopping on 5 metres, which is probably going to be a bit of a frustrating position for the centre forwards, needing that ball to come in from the 2, but there's an exclusion anyway. Hands down defence from Marsden. So she earns one and she gives one as Cronulla moves into 6-on-5 attack, moving the ball around quite nicely. Abby out top. The post pop was on, didn't quite hold on to it. Similar to Drummoyne's last attack, sends it over the top. And Sophie Hankin apologises to the bench as she swims back. Yeah, interesting attack here from Drummoyne. They barely have 3 players past halfway. Centre nicely fronted, though she's holding good position now. They start driving up. And a loose pass, easy interception for Abby Simshauser there.
Interception and a quick kick out on number 8, Gillis. She'll head over to the sidelines. And it's going to be subbed out for number 12, Krejcik.
Yeah, a few calls from the crowd there about maybe a soft kick out. In the ref's defence, they've been consistent giving it both ways. Those hands down plays around the perimeter in midfield, everyone's getting torched. Oh, we've got some water polo royalty here with Lena Mihailovic, Tokyo Olympian, joining us in the commentary team. Almost walked in front of the camera. I didn't realise we're live streaming. We might have to interview Lena a little bit later on.
Absolutely.
Lena recently married, moved back to Australia, recovering from a few surgeries, so enjoying some time on the side of the pool.
Sure, it's a little less stressful being on the sideline than it is being in the pool.
Especially when you get to my age, Lulu. Takes me 3 days to warm up for a game of 5th grade now, and I still walk away with 5 injuries.
Sore for a few days.
Oh, goodness gracious. Now another offensive turnover by the Sharks here.
And stolen by Claire Durston.
Yeah, that was a nice little snatch.
That's another reason why she's one of the best goalies in Australia. She's always looking to attack, makes those risky plays.
A snatch like that, you'll think she's been hanging out with my toddler. As Cronulla start pushing up counter-attack. Drummoyne do have 2 players up the sideline ready for a flying sub. As Cronulla hasn't really got much balance here. 2 centre forwards sitting on top of each other. Abby tries to force it, thinks again. Manages to slow it through down the line past 2 defenders.
Great last second shot. Shot clock was winding down to 1 or 2 seconds there. Simshauser able to sneak that one in. That brings the score to 9-2. Devils unable to convert this quarter so far.
Yeah, it's a tough one for Jocelyn Stella in goals, number 18. You saw the head go back in disappointment and frustration, doing her best to cover the middle, but with 2 players defending down the line. Tough one from goalie. Probably expects those to be covered with such a shot from deep outside. As Drummoyne pushing up here. Harris out top, looking dangerous. As Cronulla's playing a zone, they send 2 drivers. Drummoyne now have 3 centre forwards, 3 out top. It's an interesting attack. Good shot off the hand there from Meg Linder, however, sends it wide. Probably the way you've got to beat Claire. We can't really afford to be sitting up with 3 blockers back there. And there's another stray pass from Claire Durston. That's her 3rd for the game, throwing it straight for Drummoyne. Coach Christic not happy about that. Starting to have a bit of a chat with Kim Keane, the backup goalie, on the sideline. We might see her jumping in for a bit of game time, 3rd or 4th quarter here, depending on how the score goes.
Well, unfortunately, the Devils, with some of these Sharks' mistakes, have just not been able to convert on any of these possessions. Could be getting a bit tired here in the 2nd quarter. And a nice counterattack from the Sharks, but Tate Headley inside the 2 meters, and it's going to be a turnover.
That's a tough one there. Ash Ryder, one of the fastest players in the whole league. Very good national level swimmer. Just didn't manage to get down to the 2. So Tate went in, probably expecting the ball from there, ended up getting it from outside. Obviously, ball needs to be inside the 2 meters if a player's going to be in there as well.
And wow, what a shot and goal. And that's number 7. Harris.
Yeah, Lily Harris.
Lily Harris from outside. Nice skip shot near side. Hopefully that'll give the Devils some momentum.
So that's Lily's 2nd goal for the game. She scored 2 against Cronulla in their 11-20 loss to Cronulla last night. So with a full half of water polo to go, if she keeps throwing those, definitely bound to get the tally up a bit more. Cronulla moving the ball to the right side of the pool, back out top. Amy Simshauser there, looking around, waiting for a bit of movement as Danny Jakovic drives in as 2nd centre forward. Shot taken from out top by Emma Putt. Probably wanting to feed Danny Jakovic, wasn't quite there. And Cronulla with another midfield kick out in counter D.
It's going to be on number 3, Nell Payne. 30 seconds to go in this quarter. See if the Devils can score one here. And Meg Linder with several fakes, and she shoots it near side just over the hands of Ashley Ryder.
Yeah, it was a good goal from Meg. She's not the tallest player in the pool, and Ash definitely has a pretty long wingspan. Built like an albatross, but Meg manages to wrap it around her. Takes the score to 9-4. 23 seconds, so Sharks will get one more attack here. They do have Danny Jakovic in the pool. Tate Headley sitting centre forward. You'd probably expect Danny to drive in from the wing soon. Drummoyne playing a 3-back. A lot of space, a lot of time for Abby Simshauser there, but Tate Headley called inside the 2 again. Unsure if she's just unaware of the cone or she's being dragged in, but that's good play from number 14. Cook for the Devils. As the buzzer goes, takes us in to half-time. Cronulla Sharks up 9-4 over Drummoyne Devils.
All right, welcome back to your Cronulla Sharks against the Drummoyne Devils. We're here just about to start the second half. Both teams lined up with a score of 9-4. Sharks in the lead. I'm Lulu Gaither, here with Nick Watkins. We'll be announcing the second half once again. Keep in mind, we've got a water park behind us with a bunch of kids yelling and no microphones, so if you don't like hearing our voices or the people behind us, feel free to put us on mute and just watch the game. Devils won the sprint off here. We'll get started with the second half.
So that was 2 swim-offs won by Cronulla in the first half. The third quarter won by Drummoyne from the same end. Questioning maybe if the cones aren't set up properly or they're swimming uphill. It's a long outside shot from Meg Linda, goes wide. Claire Durston not having to touch it. Cronulla Sharks pushing the counter-attack here. If you've been watching the whole game, you know it was a bit of a slow and sloppy start for both teams. Early on, first week back in the AWL competition for 2026. It still feels a little bit weird saying 2026. As Cronulla moving the ball. Maddie Berg moving the ball out top. Passes off. Lovely shot.
Lovely shot.
Nice easy cross cage. Straight down the line from Abby Simshauser there.
It's tough for this Devils defense with Dani Jakovic sitting there in center. You can't leave her by herself. You got to put on a drop, but this Cronulla Sharks team has some great shooters from the outside, like Abby Simshauser.
Yeah, they've done pretty well, the Devils, taking out the centre forwards. Only a few balls getting in and not many exclusions given from centre forward. Plenty of kickouts for both teams around the perimeter and mid-pool during counter-attack here with Lee Mullen and Dan Bartels as the referees, picking up a lot of hands down play. So defenders needing to be aware of their positioning, not getting caught behind. As Emma Putt sitting up nice and strong out top, plenty of balks, passes it to Maddie Berg, a little bit wide, she has to stretch back. Sharks still got a fair bit of time and a lovely outside shot, about 8 metres from Emma.
Emma Putt's got a few this game.
Yeah, that
nice
takes the total up to 2. Might be actually a third, I'm not sure yet. Yeah, there we go. 2 for Emma Putt, 3 for Amy Simshauser. Pretty good spread of goals across the Cronulla team here. This ball sitting out top, pressed on halfway. Harris waiting for someone to release, moves the ball down to Cook. Cook plays the foul.
Looks like the Sharks are running a press right now. Don't have a drop.
Ali Loomis there, big 2 hands showing not holding. Obviously adjusting to the referee's play calling at the moment. And a lovely block by Maddie Berg there, so she pushes it up the right-hand side of the pool. Nice big cross pass to Daya Laxka there. Good shot off the hand, that's what you've got to do with those sorts of plays. But posting out, nice little assistance for Drummoyne goalkeeper. Moves the ball up to Meg Linda. Linda straight up to Cook. Playing down the left-hand side of the field here, and yet Drummoyne doesn't have anyone on the 2 on either side, so we're waiting for them to set up. Mushroom on, nice little cheeky pass in the centre forward, caught the Cronulla girls off guard. They were playing a 3-back zone, but still managed to get it into the centre forward. Valentine there, straight to the hand, good turn and shoot. Drummoyne recovers the ball.
That's Maglinder with the ball, looking to shoot. She's got some time, and that's blocked by number 13, Madison Berggren.
Saw Meg score a nice little goal down the line against Cronulla in the second quarter. Not the tallest of players, but she's got a good balk, usually wraps around. Unable to do so there.
She tends to be pretty good at giving the Devils some momentum, just like there. She's able to get a steal as the pass was thrown into center.
I think that's what they call in the playbook an absolute stinker of a ball. Berg knew as soon as she threw it, she shouldn't let go. Dani Jakovic with 4 players on her. Cronulla early in their attack. Maybe just being a little bit over-reliant on Dani being in the pool. Obviously a fantastic player, one of the world's best, but it means that the Cronulla girls have to play with her, but not necessarily rely on her the whole time. Anyway, they make up for it, stealing the ball, flicking the ball back to Claire Durston there.
Sharks running a similar defense to the Devils, running 3 back from up top. Devils should look to take those outside shots. Ball is passed in to Dani Jakovic, back out. And the shot off the hands of number 1. I believe that's Batchik.
Yeah, it was a great save by
save.
Batchik there, yeah.
Yeah, what a save. A 2-on-1. Open shot by a righty on that left side.
And Dea Laxa, a pretty powerful player, Hungarian-born, played college in the US and recently joined the Cronulla team. Big, tall, strong, powerful lady. Disappointed not being able to slot that. It was a good ball to Danny Jakovic. Finally gets a centre forward exclusion. We haven't seen that for a little while. Moves the ball back out. Cronulla girls getting into position.
And Emma Putt steps in for a skip shot, but it's blocked just at the line of goal.
It's a tough one there. Emma definitely on, winding up on 3 metres, but still very early on in the attack. Cronulla may be thinking they should control the ball a little bit more. They have a pretty substantial lead, up 11-4. And those quick shots not getting set up might come back to bite them a little bit, seeing how this young Drummoyne team turns around this second half.
And that's a steal by Ali Davis up the sideline. That steal made by her great speed and endurance there. She looks to turn.
Ali Davis, I've been calling Ali Loomis, forgetting that her and Connor married last year, so I have to get used to the new surname. As Drummoyne coach coming up, have a bit of a chat with Liam Ireland. Liam, one of the coolest, most calm, unenergetic people you'll find. Doesn't bat an eye, waves him back. Strolls casually back down the other end of the pool. Signals to Dusan Kristic from Cronulla. There was a little bit too much grabby and pulley from Danny Jakovic there. So here we have the Devils setting up an attack. Managed to get the ball into centre forward again and an exclusion there on Ali Loomis.
Good opportunity here for the Devils. Down 7 goals, they need to look here to score if they want to stay in this game. Passing it around the perimeter. They're in a 3-3. And the ball touches the goal line, so that's going to be a turnover. An unfortunate mistake by the Devils. You hate to see that.
These two teams did play each other last night in an absolute torrential downpour at the Devils' Cauldron. Cronulla coming out on top, 20 goals to 11, and Drummoyne being down, one of their biggest goal scorers yesterday. Dorotya Telek not playing today. She scored 2 for the Devils. So the spread, not too dissimilar from yesterday, but still some questionable plays and maybe a bit of rust being dusted off from both teams early on in this AWL season. Cronulla lucky to get a rebound there from the shot. That's an extra 18 seconds. If you grew up playing in my era, it would have been an extra 30, and then an extra 20, and now an extra 18 with FINA changing the rules every 2 weeks.
And that's going to be an exclusion on on Meg Linder.
That was a beautiful little 1-2 there. Danny earns the exclusion, passes to Emma on the wing. Emma straight back to Danny for the pull-on. Love to give a shout out to our 18,000 viewers at the moment. If you can see the 18 number at the top, you might
19,000, we're back up.
Back to 19. You might think that's actually 19, but they actually classify this in quantities of 1,000. So it's good to see we've got basically every member of Water Polo Australia dining in, joining us for this, what has become a nice sunny blue day at the Shark Tank here in Sutherland.
Yeah, big change from yesterday, spending 7 hours at the Drummoyne pool in the downpour.
We had so much rain in Sydney yesterday, they actually drained the pool on Friday and refilled it up overnight just from the downpours. Drummoyne trying to get the ball free to the wing. Great bit of work from Marsden there. Doing a nice strong wrestle. Oh, I don't think Cronulla's aware of who's out here. Ash Ryder was excluded. She stayed in, started blocking for a little while. Either extremely smart gameplay or a little bit of obliviousness from her. As Drummoyne moves the ball nicely around, Dieterich, nice long pass over the top, but big long arms from Dea Laxa there.
Looks like the Devils weren't super sure what play they were running and just threw an overpass, weren't able to convert. And Dea Laxa, a new player for this team. She's 6'2" in height, so she's able to get those balls going over her head. And that's Nell Payne up top with some space to shoot. And she takes a shot, and that's blocked by number 1, Batchik.
Yeah, Nell Payne looking a little bit uncertain there, which was not how she played in the first half, scoring 2 goals, some nice confident shots from outside. It looked like she was trying to back away as we've got an exclusion midfield, Nell Payne again. Yeah, it's not what you want to see from your young players. not looking too confident, not the best shot, and then an exclusion halfway down the pool. Should be disappointed with herself there, but good opportunity for the young one to learn. As another good quick shot off the hand. However, we see Brown trying to shoot cross body. It's very, very hard to get that past Claire Durston, even for a strong left-hander, let alone a right-hander out of position. As Liam Ireland calling for the ball. Doesn't like something. We'll try and come back to you at home with what we're seeing here.
Looks like something might be wrong with the clock here. It's still counting down.
Oh, I've got a red flag coming up from the table, so possibly one too many exclusions for the Cronulla players. We're just going to go consult the high-tech paper scorecard that we've got at the table. Helen Hamilton-Foster, one of Cronulla's great long-standing volunteers, manning the table over there.
Looks like they're debating whether Nell Payne has 2 or 3 exclusions.
Let the girls play, I say. New half, start the stats fresh.
0 exclusions for everyone.
Real brains trust gathering around the table at the moment. Don Cameron, Water Polo Australia life member, I believe. Dan Bartels, unsure if he's consulting or just getting out of the sun for a little bit. It is heating up down here on pool deck. As coach Dusan Kristic for Cronulla Sharks comes up and has a bit of a chat with Liam Ireland. Possibly discussing the game, possibly discussing what they got for Chrissy. We can't report on that yet, but we'll do our best to investigate at the end of the quarter. Drummoyne head coach using this as an opportunity to give some instructions to his team. Down 8 goals at the moment. They did go down 9 goals last night to the same team at Drummoyne with another quarter to go. So we'll be hoping to bridge that gap a little bit. Whilst we're waiting for the table to sort themselves out, I mentioned earlier on in the game, Lulu joins us from America. We've got quite a few Americans out here at the moment, as we've got this young, good-looking fella standing right in front of the camera. Lulu, how are you finding your time out here in Australia, but especially in the safety of the Shire? How's Cronulla?
Oh, it's been wonderful. I got here in early September. Been here for a few months now. Not only is it great to have 2 summers in a row, I went home for Christmas, was the only one who had a bit of a tan going. Able to surf every day, play with this great team. I'm training with the AWL Cronulla women's team, and I've definitely improved, and I've gotten to know all of them, which has been really fun. Yeah, it's been a great time. Now I get to do this wonderful announcing job, so we'll have a good time with that as well.
Yeah, we promise for our loyal 18,000 fans that are watching at home, we will have a proper microphone next time. We won't be yelling into someone's iPhone 6 that we've strapped to a tripod.
Yeah, and you all let me know if you want me to try an Australian accent. I know the American one can get pretty annoying, so just let me know.
All right, we'll make a deal. 4th quarter, you can do an Aussie accent. And I used to live in North Carolina, so I'll do a big southern drawl.
Yeah, you'll
Kicked
never...
out cultural appropriation.
I never want to hear from us again. Looks like the Devils are going to have a 5-meter right now. And that's a goal for number 5, Brown. And the 5-meter was awarded because Nell Payne subbed back in after having 3 exclusions. And that's going to bring us in the lead here.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed on the Cronulla bench. Unsure if that confusion's come from the table or from the bench, maybe not managing their own card, being aware of positions. Also interesting from Nell, you'd think if you're kicked out on 3, you're pretty aware if you're out. But play we do. And Alex Brown scores a lovely goal against Claire Durston, but a beautiful pass into Danny Jakovic from Jade Vincent earns Cronulla their own 5-meter. As a few of the Drummoyne Devils having a conversation about what to do when the ball gets caught on the wing. It's tough there. Danny holding a really strong front water. You can't afford to let the ball come to that 2 meters. It's just an easy pass in. And the new interpretation of rules, that's going to be a 5 every time. Daddy winds up.
And takes her own 5-meter, and that's a goal. That's going to bring us 13-5.
Yeah,
for the Cronulla Sharks.
Coco Bacic picked the right side. She moved to the right. Just a little dribbler goes under her arm. Danny recently returning from a playing stint over in Italy. Loving being back in Cronulla. Not too dissimilar to Lulu. Missed the beach. Missed the palmies. Had a lot of pasta over there, she tells me.
Ball stuck behind the half halfway line. And they're finally able to get it over
Ash Ryder
into the 2 meter.
looking at the ref like he's just kicked a dog being held there. But they play on.
And a shot from way outside, and that's going to rebound off the post. And Jade Vincent's going to take it on the counterattack.
Oh, Jade will be really stoked with that spin lob falling 4 meters short. She's laughing at us. Don't worry, Jade, it's live streamed and recorded for
Don't worry,
perpetuity.
just 20,000 viewers right now saw you spin lob that. And that's the end of the third quarter. Going to take a couple minutes off. 13-5 for the Cronulla Sharks. We'll be back for the fourth. And we're back, about to get started in this fourth quarter. 8 minutes to play in this game before we move on to the AWL men's Drummoyne versus Cronulla teams, which will play at 2:30. Score is 13-5 for the Sharks. And yeah, we'll get started here in this fourth quarter.
Thanks very much for joining us, and those loyal viewers that have joined us since the start of the game. It's good to have you hanging around. Nick Watkins, Lulu Gaither here on the commentary.
Getting feedback that the audio is not as bad as we may have thought it would be, so that's good to hear. But
well, now we don't have anything to blame for our poor commentary skills.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have been a fan and you want to hear more of us, write to Water Polo Australia. Deb Watson, Westy, we're coming for your jobs. Cronulla up 13-5 starting the fourth quarter. They did verse each other last night at the Devil's Cauldron out at Drummoyne. Cronulla walked away with a 9-point victory, 20-11. Very, very different conditions today. Monsoon last night. Quite hot, quite muggy down here at Cronulla. As Dan Bartels gestures to the Cronulla team, you can't start with the ball. You actually have to do a swim off. It must be one of these new rules as the whistle blows. We're swimming up the guts. Every swim off today has been one from the southern end, except for this one. So that defeats my theory that maybe it's slightly shorter. Ali Loomis, her second swim off win of the match.
Davis.
Oh, Davis. Ali Loomis Davis. We'll go the double barrel.
There you go.
Her partner, Connor, a very experienced referee, if you ask most people, except his brother.
And a nice pick run by both Ali Loomis and Danny Yakovich. And that's going to lead to a 5-meter. Called on the Devils.
Yeah, that's an easy call for Dan Bartels there. Danny Jakovic, front water, 3 players hanging off her back. I thought she was going to try and shoot it, but made the decision, just dropped the ball. Obviously, the new interpretation of the FINA rules is you can play the advantage and the refs can call it back for the 5 as Ali winds up. Nice little crossbody, cross-cage bounce. Straight.
And a great start to this fourth quarter for Loomis. Wins the sprint, wants a nice pick, gets that pass in to draw the 5 and then taking the 5 herself.
Yeah, really good from Ali. If that was me, I'd be benching myself and walking away with a nice stats sheet. But Ollie, fierce competitor, straight back in defence. As the wind picks up a little bit here at Sutherland, it will make it slightly challenging for Drummoyne shooting against it, especially with Claire Durston in goals. Australian stinger just returned with Danny Jakovic from a tour of Spain. Very hard to get past at the best of the times, but when you're throwing into a strong headwind, it makes it slightly more challenging. As Cronulla moves the ball up the left-hand side of the pool through Emma Putt. Emma stuffed on about 5 metres, so she moves it back to Jade Vincent. Jade Vincent across the pool. All the way to Abby Simshauser. Already 3 goals up for Abby today. She's having a cracker. Just an ordinary foul out top, so she moves it right back to point. They're right crashing back desperately on Danny Jakovic. A nice little block there. Great play from Diderik from Drummoyne. Tips it over the goals. Does her goalie a nice big favour. Emma herself, Emma Putt, 2 goals for Cronulla, so you don't really want her winding up from outside. Great cross pass there. And a lovely goal down the line. Harris slots it. That's her 3rd for the day, getting past Claire Durston.
Just straight right under Claire's arm. She's able to sneak that in there.
So Lily Harris, 5 goals from 2 games so far with 6 minutes 43 to go in the 4th quarter. Takes the scores Cronulla 14, Drummoyne 6. After this match, we'll have our men's AWL teams lining up. Cronulla and Drummoyne again. Cronulla walked away with the win last night, so the Devils will be pretty keen to get one back. As Abby Simshauser fouled outside, moves it to the deep wing. Abby Loomis, good left-handed position there, looks in for Danny Jakovic. Nothing doing, so she gets it straight over the top. Jade Vincent, lovely drive there from Jade.
And what a pass by Ali Davis, seeing that on the far side post. Sharks looking to move it around.
It's a big offset here. Cronulla completely set on the left-hand side, move it to Ali. Back to Abby, and then a lovely pass to Danny. That's the sort of thing that you write up as a dream play.
That is. And Abby Simshauser, she had a lot of room there up top and was able to fake in and draw those defenders so that she could hit Danny Yakovich there on the post.
Yeah, it's a tough one when you're defending that. Abby already 3 goals today. You don't want to be sitting there letting her balk, leaving your goalie flapping around like a wounded seagull. However, you can't leave Danny Jakovic on post, so what do you do? Drummoyne with the ball out top. That's Paul. Moves it down to Harris. Harris sitting up. Centre forward quite comfortably fronted there as Valentine held up by Emma Putt. Emma Putt calling press for the Cronulla girls.
Even more wind coming here, making it a little tougher. And a shot by number 7, and that's going to be a goal for Harris. Another one here for her. And she's had a big impact this game for the Devils.
Yeah, great game from Harris. She'll probably be feeling a bit more confident, maybe a bit more encouraged to shoot with 4 goals. And sometimes that just comes from needing to step up, a bit of desperation from the team. Not much else happening at centre forward, so why not back yourself? And when you can slot 4 past Claire Durston.
Yeah, what a confidence booster there, especially for this young Drummoyne team. Looking to build some confidence early in the AWL season. Sharks looking to enter it to Danny Yakovich, and that's a quick shot right off the post. It's going to be Drummoyne ball.
I think if we look at the stats card today, the post and crossbar is probably my MVP for both teams here. Quite a few going slightly wide. Suggests maybe the ladies still settling into the new season. I know a lot have been training hard, and some of the representative players have had a good opportunity, but a little bit of rust showing as the ball is forced under by a lovely crash back there from Cronulla. Ali Loomis Davis helping Emma Putt centre back. Pushing the counter-attack here. Ball goes out to Dayalaxka.
Dayalaxka with lots of room to shoot, and she's gonna sling that cross cage for a nice goal for the Sharks.
Yeah, I've been waiting to see Day wind up. She did have a shot earlier that was blocked from about 2 meters out. Big, strong, powerful athlete. Lovely legs, gets up nice high out of the water. It's very hard to be able to block down the line. She just shoots over the top of you and she throws it cross cage. Cronulla calling some subs here.
And we haven't announced it yet, but we've got Kim Kern back in goal. She's the second string goalie for the AWL Sharks. She's been in for this fourth quarter.
Yeah, Kim's been a long-standing loyal Shark. Tough gig when you're playing second string to some of the best goalies in Australia, but she's been definitely loyal to Cronulla. Had a short sprint at Drummoyne a number of years ago, but nice to see her getting some game time here. As Cronulla's up 16-7.
It's a nice cross from Marsden over to that right side. Shot clock winding down, they're entering it in, and that's going to be stolen by the Sharks.
Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised there. Ash Ryder pushing quite well. She got nice long arms and she did have her hands up, but they were flopping down every now and then like a drawbridge, and she was directly behind the centre forward. I thought maybe squeezing the ball in, the referees would have rewarded it, but play on, they say.
Especially late here in this fourth quarter. Refs might start calling a few more kickouts. Sharks working it around the perimeter. They've got two girls in center now. Tay Headley in center, holding position. And that's just being a little unaware of the shot clock and a turnover. Sharks just ran out of time.
Yeah, a couple of the younger Sharks girls on. Tate Headley playing centre forward there. Ash Ryder getting caught with the ball as the clock runs down. Tate a little bit frustrated. She drove in, had good position, was looking for the pass on the hand, but the ball got caught out top. And there's an exclusion, Danny Jakovic from Marsden. Marsden's been busy in the pool. No goals against her name at the moment, but definitely been active, trying to play a bit of a senior role there. And it's nice to earn an exclusion against one of the world's best.
Timeout here for Drummoyne, and they're going to come back for a 6-on-5 opportunity. Thanks again to all the 20,000 people watching us right now. We got about just under 4 minutes left in this game before we head over to the boys matchup, which starts at 2:30.
And that's the end of the Devils' timeout. Set play called by the coach. The whiteboard came out, the magnets were moving. So intrigued to see what sort of innovation and creativity we've cooked up here. With just under 4 minutes to go, the ball moves out top to former Devil, former Shark, current Devil, Meg Linda.
Looks like they're going to drive a post in. They were in a 3-3 to start. They've got a couple seconds to shoot, and that's a cross-cage shot just off the post. Once again, post MVP of the game. Devils getting a rebound.
Now a 6-on-6, Cronulla even. Centre forward's pretty comfortably pressed here, but some nice spinning. Might see a quick ball in. If they can get it, I think we might see an exclusion on Emma Putt. She's currently on 2, so having her play centre back's an interesting decision. Maybe the Cronulla girls unaware or not as interested this late in the game. You just see that one going over the cage. Kim Keane not having to do much. They are throwing into a bit of a headwind, the Devils, so possibly slipping off the fingers or getting caught up in the breeze. As Cronulla pushes that counter-attack, lovely ball up. Oh, just a little bit too short from Abby Simshauser trying to get it into Tate Headley. A bit of a splash and a hey, how's your family going from Meg Linda as she maybe pushes off and starts a strong counter-attack back up the pool.
Meg Linder up on the counter. They're going to have number 2 in there for center, and that's a 5-meter call.
That's a really smart play from Meg there. I thought she was going to wind up and try and shoot down the line, but great awareness. Plays that safe cross pass, front water. That's on Emma Putt, so that should be her 3rd by my count. Nothing called from the table yet, though we did have that bit of confusion with Nell Payne earlier.
Once again, Marsden here to shoot. She doesn't have any goals yet today, but she's definitely had an impact both on offense and on defense, drawing that 5 meter. See if she can put one on the board.
Oh,
and a block by Kim Keen. Singing the Cronulla Sharks there.
Get that one up you, she says to me as I call her a second string goalie.
Yeah.
Read that well, nice save. And the Cronulla bench, very, very pleased with that. Still not quite sure who that 5 metre was on. I thought it was Emma Putt at centre back, but Emma's still in the pool. The scoreboard's saying 2 exclusions and the table hasn't reacted. So that one might have gone to the post. As Drummoyne out top, only 8 seconds left. Gillett's sitting here with the ball, not really looking at the goals. So it's now gone back to Kate. Shot directly to Kim Keen. That's Lovnovic Cake. Haven't heard much from her today.
And here goes Ashley Ryder, once again, one of the fastest girls you'll see in this AWL conference. Looking to counter, but just an overpass over there to Madison Bergeron. Just over 2 minutes left to play.
That's a very short pass out to the centre forward, so Liam Island referee signals too far. Cronulla's able to drop back. Another great play from Abby Simshauser there. That's a steal, putting it on top of her 3 goals, a number of assists, and she's pushing the counter-attack. As it's starting to rain again, probably the 200 mils this weekend at least, Abby counter-attack straight down the line.
And that's her 4th of the day.
Yeah, playing out of her skin. It's really nice to see Abby maturing as a player. As I said, played for Cronulla in the early years before moving to US college. Came back every now and then for holidays. Played in the famous Watto's Winter Wonderland, the mixed internal competition we do here at Cronulla. Everyone from under 16, 6th grade through to National League. Bit of a social thing. Stepped in, had a good time playing there, and now definitely one of the role models and leaders for this Cronulla AWL women's team.
Under 2 minutes to play here. Drummoyne with the ball, looking to score a few in these last couple minutes of the game. Sharks looking back in a drop, and what a shot from Meg Linder. Just off that near side bar, and it's gonna skid in on that opposite side.
That was a beautiful shot. I love nothing more than a nice clean shot off the hand, and Meg's had a couple of good goals today. And claw a few back against her former teammates.
Yeah, I never had a chance to play with her, but from what I've heard from my now teammates, she's got a great shot. She's an aggressive player.
Yeah, you tend to see these smaller players being slightly aggressive. You've never met me before. I'm 6'6", and if you know me, please don't speak up. But yeah, you've got to try and find a different way to get past some of these big girls. There's a lovely little round arm lob from Maddie Berg there, goes straight over Bacic in goals. Someone once told me water polo, everyone's the same size because you see the heads, but if you're trying to block a 6'6" player and you're only 5'10", it can sometimes be a bit of a challenge. Cronulla girls take it for 18-8, so very similar to the score last night. Cronulla girls won 20-11. We've got a minute 30 here.
And Madison Bergeron throwing in a lob there. You don't see that often from her, but we'd love to see something new.
The rain's starting to come down a bit heavy here. You might not be able to tell it on our high-definition iPhone 4 that we're filming on. As we see yet another midfield kick-out in counter D. That's
Sharks.
Marsden for her 3rd, possibly saying, I'm a bit knackered, I want to go have a shower early. As she smiles at Dan Bartels and she swims to the box. About to be substituted by Harris. Cronulla moving at Maddie Berg. On the left-hand catch, right-hand wing. We don't make it easy for ourselves in water polo. Ball deep, Ash Ryder moves it back out top. Abby Simshauser winds up, passes off to Berg. Really good blocking down the line by Meg Linder there. Played quite a good game. Number of goals, some good assists. As Lulu was saying before, quite aggressive, but there we go, another rebound. 5 metre penalty to the Sharks.
Yeah, Ali Davis able to get that rebound, drop the ball, and get a 5 metre. We're gonna have
Grace Welsh
Grace
lining up.
Welsh in here, taking the 5 metre. On the shot just off the post for Grace Welsh.
Yeah, the bounce may be a little bit too far out. You can see it started to slow down, a little bit of a bounce lob. And yet another assist or save for the post there. Cannon's in a save and then assist as Drummoyne start pushing up. Counter-attack, ball getting caught out top. again with their driving centre. Ali Loomis a little bit too heavy. Ali Loomis Davis a little bit too heavy at centre back.
And that's Allie Davis's third. She's going to be out for the game in these last 30 seconds. We'll sub in Jade Vincent. That's a block from Grace Welsh, I believe.
It's tough. It was the right play. Gillis popped on the post, had a lot of room. Quite good positioning, but Cronulla managed to get a handing in the way. And there's 12 seconds left.
Let's see how the Sharks going to hold on to it. 5 seconds left to play in this game. And an exclusion with 1 second left to play. Number 21, Jenkins. And that's going to bring us to the end of the game.
I'm not sure what confuses me more, calling the kick out with 30 seconds left with this score, or the buzzer going in dead time, or the Cronulla girls shooting and scoring in dead time. There's a fair bit of confusion here. The rain gods have had their fill. It's starting to dry up again. We will be back at 2:30, so in 15 minutes for the men's National League game. That's Cronulla 18, Devils 8. I'm Nick Watkins. This has been Lulu Gaither. Join us again for the men. If you've enjoyed the commentary, write an email to Waterpolo Australia. Tag us on social media. We want more. We want more, the fans say.
Yeah.
We'll see you in 15 minutes.
See you soon. Thanks for listening.